Hi Year 10, this is lesson 1 of week 1 of spring 2, and the topic has changed this week, and we're looking at Mi Familia. So there's your title, Mi Familia. Write the date and underline it, please. And then these are the objectives for this week. We're going to be looking at family and descriptions, possessive adjectives, numbers and dates. You're doing a short piece of writing, and then we'll set some targets later in the week. Okay, so I'm going to try and talk less on videos because I know I do it too much. So to start off with, if I can get this to work, I would like you please to look at this text here, and you need to complete the text with the words from underneath. So there are 9, maybe it's 8, 1, 2, 3, I'm not sure, no, actually, hang on a second. What about 9 or 10 words to fit in, please, into the text. So as soon as you are ready, start please, and then move on when you've completed it. Okay, so I'm guessing, or I'm hoping that you've paused the video, you've completed the text, and here's your first one. Hola, me llamo Rafa. Tengo 18 años. Mi cumpleaños es el 15 de agosto. Soy español, de Castilla y León. Nací en Valladolid en 2002. Valladolid es la capital de Castilla y León. Ahora vivo en Salamanca, donde estudio en la universidad. Soy blanco, de talla mediana y creo que soy bastante guapo. Tengo el pelo corto, liso y castaño y los ojos marrones. Me chifla la fotografía y me gusta sacar fotos de los escenarios urbanos. Mis amigos me describen como una persona simpática y divertida, pero a veces pesada. Okay, so should have been fairly straightforward. Lots of revision of things you did way back in year 7 with me llamo Rafa and tengo 18 años, mi cumpleaños, and then some slightly more complex work later on. Nací here means I was born, and it's the preterite tense from the verb nacer. Me describen, they describe me as, is the only other thing in there that should have given you any pause for thought, really. Okay, so moving on. Computer's taking a while to go. Right, what are these phrases? You've just seen them, so quick as you can, please write them down. Go. Okay, I don't know why I'm pausing, because you pause and then move on when you are ready. So I'm assuming you've now done this. You should have me llamo. I am. Could be estoy, or in this case it was soy. I'm from, soy de. I have, tengo. I live in, vivo en. I was born in, nací en. They describe me, me describen como, a veces pesado or pesada. Okay, so that should have been fairly straightforward, and it's a quick regurgitation of what you did in the first exercise. Okay, so we're looking, as I say, at describing people. What are they like, character-wise and physically? So tener is the verb, one of the verbs you're going to be using a lot, and also ser. Oh, didn't mean to go quite that quickly. I was trying to keep the cat away. The colour here is to show you that in tener you have stem changing verbs. They normally change in the first, second, third, and sixth part of the verb. So the red ones are stem changing, tienes, tiene, tienen. Normally, the yo form would be stem changing as well, but it isn't in tener because it's irregular. On the other side, ser, you've got different colours for everything because they are all different. It's an irregular verb. Okay, right, moving on then. You're going to be using these two verbs to describe yourself. And the first one that's going to come up, I think, is tener, because we have, sorry, this is buffering down at the bottom there. ¿Cómo son tus ojos? So this is all really quick revision, and I'm expecting you to know these things. So tengo los ojos verdes. Tengo los ojos marrones. Tengo los ojos grises. Tengo los ojos azules. And here we go. All colors again are verdes, grises, marrones, and azules. All right, so that's your eye color. Aquí tenemos el pelo. So, ¿cómo es tu pelo? Tengo el pelo negro. Tengo el pelo rubio. Tengo el pelo castaño. Tengo el pelo pelirrojo. And maybe what it's like. The straightener's been used there. Tengo el pelo liso. I've got straight hair. Tengo el pelo rizado, so curly hair. Tengo el pelo ondulado, so it's not curly, it's wavy. Tengo el pelo corto, largo. Sorry, just going back here. So these things here, I'm assuming, just so don't forget here, it's not just passive learning. You should be either taking notes or thinking, yeah, I know this, so I don't need to. But some of you may have forgotten. So please write down anything new that you need to, pausing and moving on as you need to. So extra vocab here. Tengo pecas. So that's freckles. Tengo o llevo gafas. I have or I wear glasses. Tengo o llevo barba. It's a beard. Tengo o llevo bigote, and that's a moustache. So you can use either verb here for gafas, barba, and bigote, either tener or llevar. Llevar is to wear, and in old sort of Victorian times, you would have said someone wears a beard. Which sounds a bit odd, but they would have said that. Okay. So, having looked at that vocab, here's an exercise for you, please. There are mistakes in each of these sentences. Please correct them quick as you can. Pause the video, move on when you're ready. Right. Okay, so hopefully you have done this. So, first one, should be él tiene una barba grande. Here we've got confusion between alto and delgado. They're describing different people. One is feminine, one is masculine. So if we go with the first one, it should be soy bastante alto y muy delgado. Sorry, that's the cat. He's been trying to get on there for ages. Right. Number 3, soy creativo y inteligente. Looks all right, but in fact it should be creativo e inteligente. So inteligente is misspelled in the original. It only has one L. And also, if you are saying there's something, if you're saying and before a word that begins with an I, then it needs to change to e. Otherwise, you get I inteligente, I together. You need to change it to an e. Number 4, busco un hombre con ojos azules. Obviously, it's plural. You need to check that adjective agreement. El pelo lisa y pelirroja should be liso y pelirrojo. And es simpático, perro muy perezoso. This perro with 2 R's means dog. You want 1 R. Es simpático, perro muy perezoso. Okay, so that's your just quick check of the grammar and making sure you're looking at your adjective agreements. Okay, moving on. Right, so some more vocab here, just as a recap. So what we're doing is we're interleaving your learning. You saw this a couple of moments ago. How many can you remember? Write down the words for, you didn't know wrinkles, but you do know other ones. There are 2 or 3 there you don't know. Other ones you should remember. Off you go. Pause the video, move on when you're ready. Okay, so assuming you've got most of these, you may have had time to look up the ones you didn't. Pecas is freckles. Arrugas are wrinkles. Hair, pelo. Oh, sorry. Pelo, eyes, ojos, glasses, gafas. Spots, granos. Bald. If someone is bald, they are calvo. Mi padre es calvo. My dad's bald. Barba is a beard. Curly was the picture with the rizado, and straight was liso. Okay, so another recap of stuff we've already done. Right, moving on. Describe these people, please. And this is what I want you to do for the final exercise today. So you've got se llama Carla, es mexicana, and so on. So you have all the information you need to come up with a description similar to the one that we saw right at the very beginning, when he said, this is who I am, this is when my birthday is, this is where I was born, and this is what I like doing. Okay, so can you please describe these three people? You've got someone she's got long curly hair. She's got, I don't know, brown eyes maybe. It's difficult. Don't worry too much about seeing the color of the eyes. Although I would say she's brown-eyed, he's grey-eyed, and he seems to have blue eyes. I don't know. See what you can do, and don't worry about too much about the eye color. Make that up. I put these things here for you to remember, but please try and use at least one preterite tense to say where they were born. Okay, so pause the video. Do that, please, before you move on. Okay, so this is just a recap. If you've done the 3 descriptions, then please submit those. And then this is just a recap of the learning objectives. Again, vocab about family, descriptions, possessive adjectives we're looking at in more detail in the next lesson. Numbers and dates you've done a bit of today, and you did a short bit of writing today as well. We're going to do more writing later in the week. Okay, so today was the recap of vocabulary lesson, really. Thank you very much indeed, and I will see you in lesson 2. Adios.